I offered one of the guys on the X7 owner group the other day, if he wanted to buy Lapco's new Cyclone upgrade kit, if he didn't like it, I'd take it back. Nobody else will do that. It's like, you know what, guys? I'll do that for you. Things like that.
I saw that over at when we were talking about the Viper game with at Road Warriors, where some guy was wandering up and he had his Tipman and he's playing with it. He's having a good time and he walks up to you and he's like, "So I'm thinking about I don't know." And you just said, "Wait, no, just don't look at what's here on the table. Tell me what you want, and I'll make it. It doesn't matter. If you want a stock, if you want it to fold, if you want it to collapse, if you want the sights on here and here, if you want this to cock in the rear, if you just tell me what you want and I will build it and you'll love it." And he just sort of went, "Huh?"
I get more pleasure out of making something new. I mean, that's where a lot of my new ideas and products come from. Let me go grab another one off the wall.
Look at that. I mean, that's a freaking...
Let's grab this one.
I'm just, when your daughter starts dating, are you going to bring all of the boys into your shop as the first thing you do?
I have a real gun cabinet as well. That's for them.
And a shovel cabinet.
Yeah, I'm going to ask them which one they like the best, because that's the one I'll use. But we won't go there right now. But anyways, up on... one of the X7 owners groups, some people were commenting that they needed a rear cocking X7 just like an M4. So I think you guys can see this online.
Booyah!
This cocks the weapon.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see that.
You can see if you hold it against your shirt, you got a nice... Oh, you got it there too.
Right there?
Yeah, beauty. Sweet spot.
I'll cock it from this side. But that's a cocking handle, just like an M4. I also make one for an A5. The X7 one, which is nice, it's all internal, all remachined inside, and the A5 one has an external bar. It's on the wall over there too.
So,
go ahead.
This is all done from the Engler Industries multi-level platform with your 50 apprentices and your got all. It's all done through the computer, right? And then you just put it in a machine. Machine does it.
Sure. Yeah. No. I don't use CAD. I do everything the old-fashioned way with a pen and a pencil. I'll start machining on something and get it right. Over in the corner is a 1956 Bridgeport. That's the only real heavy power tool in the shop. Everything else is done by hand with saws, grinders, and hand tools. I don't do anything CAD or mass machined. Everything that comes out of my shop is a one-of-a-kind marker. As for employees, I've had some part-time guys on occasion. Actually, Logan, who's online, came and helped me sandblast. He'll tell you how many we did, and Doobie will help, but I think it was probably close to 100 Tippmann 98s for the cadets at the academy last year. We refurbished them all, sandblasted them, painted them up, and put them all back together. And I have one other part-time employee who comes to all my events, Bobby the Killer Rabbit Ballstead. He likes to play the Killer Rabbit at all EMR's Holy Grail games.
Nice.
So he runs around with a Killer A5, and he's really cool. He runs my booth at all the events, so I can go out in general games and actually play and help players.
Snork in the chat had a good question. How long does it take for a typical mod, from start to finish? But
anywhere between 4 and 80 hours. The Halo battle rifle, when we made it, took about 80 hours worth of work, just because of what it was. If you're looking at, say, like an AK-47, the first one probably took me a week. But I've made over 200 of those now, so I can knock out in 4 hours.
Oh, man, that's so freaking cool. I geek out on this stuff, and that's why I love talking to people like you, and especially, people with this sport. There's only so much you can do with baseball. I've got this special bat, I've got this ball, but this is something you can, build your marker from the ground all the way up, and you can customize it, and that's part of what the pleasure and the ego and the whatever that we have as players is showing off the gear. When you do a walk-on and you're at a game and somebody looks at you and goes, whoa, what's that? And you're like, well, you see, this is, and you go through all that, and that's part of what it is, and that's beautiful that you get to be sort of like the Prometheus bringing the fire down to the people or something like that. Something beautiful and imagistic in that way.
Yeah, if the neat thing too is that they don't like it one way this week, they can change it for next week, and that's what I really like about all this. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Anything people can come up with, I'll make it. I mean, we got any callers coming in or anybody asking questions? Or they said they were going to bombard me with questions.
Oh, well, feel free to bombard with questions, guys. Chukotai had a question. Let me check to see where you are. Has Eric ever thought of putting together a mortar or rocket launcher or anything of that nature?
Thought about it. Actually talked to a bunch of guys about it, and I don't have the ability here to turn anything around, so that kind of gets rid of mortars and things like that. And now Metadyne has come out with their new M203 launcher.
That's beautiful.
That thing is phenomenal. It is a beautiful piece of work. And yes, they're mass producing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see me take that and make some M203 bloop tube Vietnam-style grenade launchers out of it.
Nice. Logan is saying, what about some more Halo-inspired, like the Needler?
My daughter wants one of those. Which is just driving me crazy because I promised it to her 2 years ago when the Tiberius came out, and I ignored it. And now that Tippmann's coming out with their new pistol, it may happen.
Nice.
Or the sniper rifle from Halo, that may happen too. We're thinking about a bunch of things. If somebody wants to commission me to make something like that and be the first one to have one, I'll do it. I mean,
nice.
Sometimes money talks.
That's very true. Somebody wants it bad enough and is willing to pay for it. To be the first and to have it hanging on their wall, do it, man.
I'm going to go walk behind me here and grab another. Basically, it was a marker that somebody requested. Now I've made about a dozen of them. Let me grab one of these.
Yeah, so what about a gravity hammer? They want to know, That'd be great.
Butt stroke him. That didn't sound right. Anyway, this, if you guys can see it, is a Russian FPK Druganov, basically a Romanian design. It's based off the 98. Somebody commissioned me to make one, and I've made about a dozen of them so far.
What I hate is that the hopper ruins the whole line of the entire thing. It looks beautiful, but then you put that big old effing hopper on the top, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, but we got to feed our balls somehow, and I've just never been fond of any other way other than the standard, hopper. That's kind of why I like Tippmann stuff with the Cyclone, because at least it's there and you know what it is.
Yeah, you can put the cap on the Cyclone. You can sort of hide it.
Hey, that's a big part of the industry I'm finding out now is limited paintball games. On the East Coast, down in the Carolinas, they're having a big hit with those, and just being more tactical, and that's I think that's up and coming because nobody wants to spend a lot of money on paint.
Yes, we were talking about the WTL earlier, where they've got a couple round pods, and everyone's going back to the woods. And so, speaking going back to places where you're going to be generaling a number of events the rest of the year, so where can we see you at?
You're going to see me at generaling EMR Paintball Park in Pennsylvania, their March Meltdown game. After that, I've got a game at West Point. They're going to do one where it'll be World War II, German and Italians against Americans, and I'll be leading the 10th Mountain Division against the Germans, and I intend to win. Actually, I always intend to win, but I always intend to have fun, too, and make sure my players have fun. That's why I do this.